But the reason I was asking you about, have spoken to Craig Boynton about the game style, because you and I have a view, I think, consistent view on Hurkacz's game and what he can do to certain opponents to really kind of rush them and not give them rhythm, because it would seem that when you are up against an opponent like Zhang, he likes to get a bit of rhythm, and he has had some good results on clay where he's got a little bit more time on the ball. Take time away from him and his decision-making becomes a little bit scattered. Hurkacz has the ability to do that, Jim, but doesn't necessarily play that way.
It's not his instinct. He's a very offensive server and a very passive ground stroker. That's offensive. That's nice. Good attack down the line with the backhand, which is, I think, his more reliable wing. His forehand can be a little bit flimsy at times. And if you look at the data on the top 50 players across the last few years, Hurkacz has some of the slowest average ground D speeds of anybody. He really, I view him as a massage artist off the ground. He uses his defense, really good movement. But nice to see him lace in a few backhands up the line early here. A good start for Team Poland. Fitzy, down on the court right now, they're in the sunshine. Give us a feel for the temperature as compared to the last few days here where it's been fairly mild.
Look, certainly hotter than yesterday, Jim, but there was a day or two earlier in the week I think would be comparable to this. So I would think it will get up towards the 30 mark at some stage this afternoon. But look, it's very pleasant. There's actually a breeze this morning. I'm feeling a breeze wafting through here, so that always helps, I think. But the temperature will be higher on that surface than where I'm sitting here, so they'll feel it a little bit.
Well, Zhang played on a very hot day against Lehechka when China played the Czechs, and Lehechka faded in the heat and Zhang did not. He was quite strong physically in that match, and that was a big difference maker. So I don't expect either of these guys to struggle with it in a best-of-3 set match today.
I can tell you currently it's around about 25 degrees with that breeze Fitzy was talking about. It's a little cooling breeze today. It feels like about 23, but it is looking to get to a 33 later this afternoon around about 4 p.m.
Hurkacz, the heavy pre-match favorite, and a great start so far. Has love 30 on Zhang's opening service game. Seems a little heavy-handed given how close their head-to-head matches have been so far as win predictors go, but I'm not an analytics expert necessarily.
I wonder if the person that put in the data looked at the last 2 matches they've played.
I'm sure they have a whole host of things that they bring into there. You know, the people that set lines are typically incredibly bright mathematicians, so I'm sure they have valid reasons for it. Just feels a little bit funny, but feelings versus facts are different things. Fact of the matter is a good recovery from love 30 for Zhizhen.
Very nice. That's the sort of tennis that I think he needs to play a little more of, and I know against this opponent it works. I called the match that Rinky Hijikata defeated Zhang at the US Open. And this is the sort of tennis he played. Didn't give him a chance to get set round the baseline, use his forehand. Kept coming forward, and that's a nicely played point. So back to deuce.
One of Hurkacz's coach, one of Craig Boyden's big goals for Hubie this year is to break serve more frequently. That's an area where they're really spending time focusing on, because he's a great holder of serve, but he doesn't break enough. Here's a chance to right away.
He's got that one though, and that's off to a flyer of a start for Team Poland.
Team Poland lead 2 games love for sets.
Hurkacz is an elite server. He holds serve as well as just about anybody on tour. But return-wise, he was about 70 on tour last year at breaking. So if he can make that even, get up to 50 on tour and breaking serve, that would probably translate to him moving from 9 in the world to about 7 or 6 in the world.
Big difference, isn't it?
Huge. How do you do it? As I get a let call here, I mean, he returns well. I think it's what you're talking about. The type of tennis that works against Zhang, being more aggressive and disruptive. When you hold serve, there's a freedom as a returner to do more erratic things. You're not as worried about you have to break every time. One time's enough usually for Hurkacz.
Whoa. That's lucky for Zhang. Reaction from Hurkacz indicating so. Just throwing his racket at it, stabbing it, trying to get it back in the right direction, and gets lucky.
Yep. CB saying just shake it off. On to the next one. And he can get so many points like that with his 213K first serve. If he hits his spot, it's awfully difficult for a returner to get it back, let alone get to neutral.
Oh, nice.
The slice backhand was a very effective play for Davidovich Fokina against Hurkacz when he beat him a few days ago. The drop shot, the slice, it took Hubert out of rhythm, and it certainly worked well. Fitzy, describe to the viewer why it's so difficult to play offense off of a sliced backhand that's coming your way.
Well, this is a subject that you and I have discussed a little bit this week, and some of us had to use that a bit more than others, but I think there's still room for variety in the sport with that slice, and the ball stays much lower if you can hit the slice and underslice, and you have to lift the ball much more aggressively if you're going to hit through a forehand or a backhand shot. So the net comes more into play. Got to get it up and over. And a lot of players don't use it these days, Jim. So in either the men's or the women's game, it's not used anywhere near as much as it used to be. And I think players are not used to practicing that shot as much. And when they get into a match, it's quite amazing to me, really, that when they get into a match situation, they haven't hit a lot of those balls in practice. So it adds a little bit of extra difficulty factor.
Advantage Team Poland.
Sometimes you feel for Zhang that this game is that game to break straight back. If you get the lead, you're almost giving the set away. So hanging in, but Hurkacz has had some wonderful rhythm already early on to this backhand side on serve. Did well to make that return, hangs in.
Deuce.
Pretty nice level of tennis from both these guys. You can see that they've had a couple of matches now in the season. They're starting to get a little more comfortable in the environment. As great as these players are, it still does take them a little time coming out of the off season to get back into the match rhythms. Can't replicate it on the practice court. Can't get that adrenaline in your body the same way when there's not a chair umpire and all kids and fans in the stands. But this is the real deal, and they're ready for it now.
Let's serve.
It's crazy. I don't know if you guys experienced this. I'm sure you did, but I would train all off season. I'd be in the best shape I'd be in all year long. I'd come to Australia, play my first match. It'd be a 2-set match. I would be so sore the next day.
Oh, nice. He's got some good hands on the volley, Fitzy has, Zhang.
Well, he has, and he's got most bases covered in his game. He serves well. He's a wonderful athlete for someone his size. He can come forward. He's got an all-court game. Good feel with the slice, with the drop shot and the volley. But he just misses his forehand too much. And if he can get on top of that over the next year or two, he'll be a force to be reckoned with, I think. It would improve his ranking dramatically if he could just cut the errors down on that forehand wing. He must have good days, but it's been worrying him this week a little bit.
I think you're right, Fitzy. I mean, he sits between 50 and 60 in the rankings comfortably within a season, or at least last year. If he gets onto what you're talking about, then it goes sitting between 20 and 30.
I think so. Yeah. And maybe inside the top 20, I'm not sure, but he's got a lot to be happy with about his game.
Tough game for Hurkacz, but he eventually holds serve and consolidates the early break. Team Poland, 3-love.
Time.
Quarterfinals day here at the RAC Arena in Perth, and for the #1 seeds, Team Poland, Hubert Hurkacz has got his team off to a great start. Early break, 3-love. Zhang serving, trying to get on the scoreboard.
Love 15.
Starting early here, 10 o'clock local time brings the sun into play for the right-handers when you're serving on the side that Team China is right now.
It's the southern end.
Around about midday, it starts to creep across, and then it becomes a problem for the left-handers. No problem on the side Hurkacz is on right now for anybody.
15 all.
I've got a nice crowd in, around about 3,000 early on for this first match of the day session. Be packed in here later today.
See, to me, there's no reason why he can miss that. And when he misses it, Todd and Jim, he misses it by 8 to 10 feet sometimes. That was a big miss from a simple shot for a player of his caliber. Don't understand. I think maybe sometimes he gets caught with his weight moving backwards a little bit on the forehand, and I don't know, maybe he should just transfer his weight a bit more.
All.
I'm always taken too by how calm Hurkacz looks. It looks like he's walking around the court using his resting heart rate. Just a casual big man.
So for 15:30, it's a nice recovery to at last get on the scoreboard.
Lead 3-1 first.
Now let's take a peek at that errant forehand, Fitzy. We're going to look at Zhang's shot that he missed about 3 points ago and see if we can see what his body weight's doing there when he missed it. He's pulling across, moving to his left. So watch where his weight transfer here is. It just keeps moving towards his team zone instead of towards the target, which is what you ideally want. So when you do that, your racket lifts out and away from the ball, so your contact's not going to be pure. You need to keep the strings on the ball longer there. The way to do that is to keep your left shoulder down and pointed towards the target a little bit longer. His left shoulder is sort of flying up and away. And that, I think Rafa would say, that's no bueno. Can't always have your weight moving back to target, but you've got to keep your shoulders steady through contact to maintain that good ball and strings.
I totally agree with everything you're saying. To my eye, too, in those pictures that we were just watching, when he's making contact, you can see his head has got a lot of upward movement. If you watch Novak Djokovic hit the ball off that forehand, sometimes his arms and legs are maybe, you know, they're moving, obviously, or he's falling off the ball, but his head is still until he's made contact with the ball and it's on its way. Whereas you could see there, his head's really ripping up, and it's hard to make consistent contact.
Yeah, it's well done by Hurkacz. If I was on Zhang's coaching staff, The simple tip that I would give him would just be to try and keep your racket longer on the ball through contact. Have a longer finish towards your target. That's a simple concept that most people can get their heads around. He does it beautifully on the two-hander.
Yes. It's quite a contrast, actually.
40-13.
It's easier to do on backhands, especially two-handers, because you don't have as much topspin on two-handed backhands. Your second hand limits your ability to whip through the ball, so you tend to drive a two-hander more than a forehand, which tends to come off of the ball, create more topspin, which can be a good thing.
Heavy, accurate, deep hitting on the forehand from Hurkacz, and he's got 4-1 in this opening set.
4 games to 1 for set.
Well, some of the players today, in fact, are headed over to Rottnest Island, and this is the pictures of Rottnest. It's 19 kilometres straight off the coast of Perth, and the Czech team have a day off today. They didn't make the quarterfinals, and were leaving the hotel this morning. All of them about to take a boat ride over there today, about an hour on a sail to get there, and then this is what you've got to look forward to. They'd already pre-booked their bicycles to ride around the island, and they'll drop into a few beautiful little coves and have a swim, freshen up, and then the majority of their team heading over east, some heading to Adelaide, the Adelaide International, ahead of the Australian Open. But for one of these two teams here today, they'll be looking at a flight tomorrow morning to go to Sydney to continue the United Cup, the semi-finals to be played in Sydney over Friday and Saturday, finals on Sunday. Final matches of the group stage being played today in Sydney at Ken Rosewall Arena.
Time.
At the United Cup in Sydney, France is taking on Italy today. And later in the day, Greece will take on Canada. Norway have qualified. We'll see who makes the quarterfinals once we can know some more of those results as they unfold during the day session.
Yeah, France has won the opening singles, and they're leading a set in the women's singles. Caroline Garcia up 6-4 over Yasmin Paolini. Adrian Manarino with the win earlier.
15 left.
For those of you that might be just joining in here at the moment, first singles match of the quarterfinal today between Team Poland and Team China. Hubert Hurkacz held serve easily in the opening game, then broke in the second game. Managed to hang on to a very long and difficult third to secure and consolidate the break. It's Todd Woodbridge alongside Jim Courier in the commentary box. And Jim, one of the things when you watch Hubert play is that when he gets that lead, yes, he serves it out well. Does he keep that pressure on his opponent? Does he really sort of, like, if you think about it, Djokovic? Who loves to take the oxygen away from his opponent. Is there that intensity in him?
So what Novak does so well is once he gets a lead, he starts to play even bigger and a little riskier, and he tries to take it even further away from you. Whereas Hurkacz is a pretty constant competitor, the way he hits the ball, plays.
Oh, nice touch.
That's beautiful. Good hold of serve there from Zhizhen Zhang. Right, 58th ranked player in the world, first Chinese male into the top 100 in the rankings, so a record setter. What the thing about Hurkacz is he's a really mellow guy, and that personality seems to translate into his game too. His game doesn't really go up and down like a heartbeat. You know, it's pretty constant, his output. Big server and a pretty, you know, mellow baseline player. Not as offensive minded as someone like Novak, that's for sure.
That's great tennis.
Love 15.
As soon as he knew that Hurkacz was going to be pushed to get that single hand on the racket and go the size, he was in after it. Got that volley above net height, dispatched it beautifully.
$15 all.
Oh, that's a big miss there. Had an opportunity to put some pressure on Hurkacz at 15-30. Hurkacz is making a lot of first serves, and he did in his prior match against Spain's Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. But he's not getting as many free points as we're used to seeing him get. These guys, understandably, Zhang is 6'4". He's got wingspan, but he's getting his racket on so many of these serves. I don't think Hurkacz has found his range as far as location yet with his serve. He's making a lot of them, but he's not hitting the accurate spots in the corners yet.
Well, hitting a volley like that into the open court is fraught with some dangers. You know, sometimes I think instantaneously you see a gap down the other end and you go for the open court, the biggest space, but you've got to hit that with more heat. It's got to go faster from A to B to get away from the running forehand. It's dangerous.
$40-30.
That's a clever return. Going hard deep back at a big man like that because he hasn't recovered from the serve. Takes a good ball strike though to be able to get it deep, particularly off the Hurkacz second serve, which got a very heavy spin on it.
Perfect example of a big serve, 213K, that is relatively useless in this game, in the modern men's game, because it was straight into the hitting zone of Zhang. He didn't have to reach, didn't have to adjust. He just had to meet it with that reliable two-hander. And you saw the result with your own eyes.
You and I had a discussion. I like to say, well, that one came back with interest.
Not technically. Our math teachers would like a word if you're going to keep saying that. Because that would be something to see a return of serve at about 125 miles an hour.
And know, you gave me that lesson the other day.
It was just an observation, Todd.
Oh, accurate into the corner on that big serve. Dispatches the forehand. Another tough game, but hangs on Hurkacz. He has 5-2.
Team Poland lead 5 games 2 for set.
First quarterfinal of the 2024 United Cup. We are in Perth at the RAC Arena. It's number 1 seeds. Team Poland taking on Team China. Team China winning, advancing rather to this quarterfinal as the next best qualifier after the 3 winners of each group. So in terms of percentages, the highest percentages of matches, and then sets, and then games won. But for Zhang here at the moment, under the pump, serving at 2-5 in the opening set. As new balls, the ball come off the racket
15.
a little quicker. And it's been noticeable too this week when the ball change has hit, hasn't it? It's taken players from both ends a game or two to adjust.
There's been a lot of that. Players unable to bring the ball back down to the court off of kick serves. Saw Taylor Fritz, a very reliable returner like Hurkacz, have the same difficulty a few days ago. That was Alex de Minaur played so beautifully to stake a 1-0 lead for Team Australia. And then the mixed doubles team from Australia was incredible. Maddie Ebden, Storm Sanders, holy mackerel, did they play well, Todd?
They did. Some of the best mixed doubles I've seen for a long time. All the correct timing of intercepts and where to hit the ball, set points up. Fantastic.
Team China.
So a love game for Team China.
Team Poland lead 5 games 3 for sets.
And it'll be Hubert Hurkacz to serve for the opening set. How are you going down there courtside, Fitzy? John Fitzgerald is with us courtside.
Well, I'm better now than I was about 5 or 7 minutes ago. The sun is just past the edge of the open roof, so I'm in the shade, Todd. And I'm just admiring the memories of your mixed doubles guru-ness.
Legs for serve.
Well, I learned from the best, really.
No, talking about mixed doubles, you know, Jim, I don't know if you can remember, Todd, that was his forte. He was good at that.
Guru-ness.
Forgive me.
Do I feel like you're taking the mickey out of me a little bit there?
I'm not sure if he's complimenting you or...
Me neither.
Okay, love 15.
Well,
Love 15.
Jim, I'll be quick on this, but, you know, I did hear Todd the other day say that Storm Sanders and Matt Ebden played awfully well, and you know, he thought they would have been competitive with him.
It's high praise. That's an opportunity lost for Triple Z, as he likes to be known. Zhizhen there left that one hanging, and Hurkacz delivered a beautiful forehand to get back to 15 all. Routine rally shot here and just mistimes it. Lands in the service line and goodbye. Ooh, floater. That was a terrible slice too. From love 15, Hurkacz doing well on his side of the court and getting some help from his opponent.
I am impressed with his feel, though, for a big man. We've noticed this all week. I mean, he's not just, you know, a big server and a big hitter. He has great feel for a big man around the net.
Let's.
Can take the speed off a volley, which takes talent, takes feel in your hand.
$40-15.
2 set points for Team Poland.
$40-13.
One saved by Zhang. Wrong shot. Low percentage, and it gives Hurkacz the opening set.
6 games to 3.
6 games to 3 in 38 minutes.
Zhang started playing tennis very early, at the age of 4. Both of his parents were athletes. His mom was a shooter, sharpshooter. His father was a famous soccer defender, played professional soccer in Shanghai. But his dad didn't want him to become a soccer player. So tennis was a sport, and he's been a groundbreaker. First Chinese male into the top 100 in the rankings, first to compete in the main draw at Wimbledon, first to compete at the US Open, which he did alongside Wu Yibing, another Chinese male player. That was the US Open 2022. And the first to defeat a top 5 opponent, beating Rude. There is a young Chinese player named Jerry Sheng who is playing in Hong Kong. He's 18 years old. He won his first round in the main draw, having received a wild card there. He's a talented little lefty. Hopefully he'll grow a little bit. And he's been spending time at the IMG Academy where I shipped off to when I was 14 years old a long time ago, alongside the likes of Andre Agassi. So he's a promising young 18-year-old who will try and achieve a little bit more than the player that we're watching right now. We'll see if he can.
The lead off for Zhang there from Hurkacz. This is where if you're Hurkacz, don't you start pressing? Get an early break here. Get the break, Fitzy, and then
30-14.
You almost think it's a lay down for Hurkacz.
I always think the first game of the second set is so important from both angles here, for the guy who lost it particularly, but also the guy who won it. He needs to keep the level up. He's good up there. Solid as a rock on the overhead. It's a beauty.
Deuce.
Good approach. That's how he should try to use his forehand, I think, a little more, because he is a good all-court player. This is part of his repertoire. Come forward. Good volleyer. Wonderful overhead. So use that forehand more if you can. Down the line and come in. But keep the big spinning forehand across court also.
Advantage, team.
Gee, that hurts, doesn't it? Yeah. It just makes it really difficult to win against high-level players when you do that. He played a good point previously, and for no reason again, he gives up that forehand for another break point.
Oh, that was close.
Deuce.
Team Poland in the team zone indicating that that was just long to Hubie, and that confirms it. So a good save with another big forehand down the line from Triple Z.
Advantage, Team China.
That's better off the forehand lens than Zhang, and he survives a couple of break points.
He was fantastic at every one of those forehands at staying down and through the ball, keeping the racket on it a long way. And it was clean contact and it was forceful. That was excellent. Watch him here, watch the upper body stay down through it. Right? He's not moving up through that one, Ton. He is just kind of gliding on the path with it. And that's a big save. Huge to not go down an early break against Hurkacz's serve. Wu Di is the team captain, former player for China. And behind them, Rindy Liu, another former tour player for Chinese Taipei. That's the new day-to-day coach for Zhang there, is Rindy in the black cap. They started working together about July of 2023. I'm interested to see what kind of work they can do together. There he is.
Famous for a big victory over Andy Roddick at Wimbledon.
Love. 30 love.
Just got a text from Andy Roddick. Todd, he's asking for your number. I'm not sure that he's pleased that you mentioned that. You might want to put a block. I'll give you his number, and then you can block him. Okay? Is it deal?
Yeah, get it, Andy. Andy had enough famous victories of his own. It's been quite fascinating to see that here in Perth, the returners against Hurkacz have decided to come up in the court. We see a lot of returners on tour now going deep and deeper to return big serves, but it must be the consensus that if you stand up on the Hurkacz serve, you've got a better chance of getting yourself into the point.
Well, that serve there is maybe one of the reasons. It is incredibly angled, isn't it? And his height helps that. So he gets, particularly to the first court, I think, Todd, he gets that long arm of his way up there and it creates a bigger angle. So if you're too far back there, you just have no chance.
Just got a text from Daniel Medvedev. He'd like a word with you guys. Phone's buzzing over here. I mean, I think Medvedev guys would clearly stand back, and I think Nadal probably would too. I think they're guys that are far more comfortable doing it. But they're guys like Triple Z here at 6'4". He's comfortable taking on that kick serve on the second serve. I think they're horses for courses, and I think he's pretty comfortable standing. And I haven't seen him do a lot of the mega deep returns.
No advantage, Team Poland. Game, Team Poland.
Eventually seals the hold with an ace.
1 game all, second set.
%50 of his service games today, though, have been taken to juice Hurkacz. Take a look at his motion. Gets the ball up very high. You can see it starting to drop.
Love 15.
It's got to be a game of focus for Hurkacz too, because it's 11 a.m. here in Perth, and the sun just starting to come into a position that it's difficult to serve from the southern end where Zhang is. Got about an hour here where that end becomes tough for a right-hander.
And after that double fall, he took pace off of that first serve in the ad court point, the second point of this game. Perhaps because the sun was bothering his toss. Starting to find that forehand, Fitzy.
Well, if he does, I think he'll be a different player.
15.
And look, he's been knocking on the door, as Todd just said about breaking serve. 50% of Hurkacz's games going to juice. It's just one break, really, to make this match really interesting and close, and would give Hurkacz a lot more to think about.
Really good picture there too, though, Fitzy, of the balance on that forehand. Compared to earlier vision where we saw him flailing away.
It's almost like those old etiquette lessons that you would see back in the day when girls would be learning to walk with a book on their head, right? Keep the head still. A little bit of that for Zhang could go a long way of keeping his head still, as you were mentioning, through the contact.
Game, Team China.
But he's settled in now after dropping his opening service game and now has 2-1 second set, Team China. Great day of play scheduled for the United Cup here in Perth. Quarterfinals day in Perth and the last day of the group stages in Sydney at the Ken Rosewall Arena. One result, Jim, in the match between France and Italy. The men's singles was on first, which was won by Adrian Mannarino over Lorenzo Sonego, and Caroline Garcia and Jasmine Paolini currently in action. Mannarino winning that match 6-4, 6-4. Evening session there today between Greece and Canada. Here it will be a quarterfinal between Australia and Serbia.
Love 15.
So, interestingly, I've just gone back to look at my score sheet from the match with Davidovich-Fokina. This is the game and the end that the momentum changed. And that match yesterday for Team Poland, Hubie tend to struggle a little bit down this end with the reaction after the serve, if that comes back quickly. The return gets back at him and he's deep into the court.
Ooh, got away with a serve that didn't have a lot of pace or location on it. Valuable, cheap point for Hurkacz. That serve only 182 kilometers an hour and right into the forehand wing. Very makeable. Oh, that's a donation.
Yeah.
30 all.
That's what Davidovich-Fokina didn't give up. That's where the difference with we spoke about the rankings. You know, he's sitting between 20 and 30, and that's part of the reason why. Because you let them back
40,
in,
13.
And they do hit their spot with a serve.
Yeah,
could not have been better. Swept the line on its way past Zhang. Another, ooh, I thought that one caught as well. Just missed.
So survives the love 30. Important for Poland.
2 games all, second set.
Good target hitting in that rally. You could see pinpoint accuracy starting with the second serve. So 2-all, second set.
Love 15.
Hurkacz has been a consistent performer the last 3 seasons. He's finished ranked inside the top 10 year end. That's not easy to do. Still looking for the really big breakthrough at a major, though. He had one fantastic result. Reached the semifinals, 2021 Wimbledon, lost to Berrettini, but beat Federer. Well done there. So Hurkacz is and forever will be the answer to the trivia question, who beat Federer in his last singles match?
And Roger's going to give you a call.
He doesn't have my number, because he doesn't want it.
Todd's got a long memory, Jim.
Nope. Oh, chopped that up. He missed the volley too.
Gee whiz.
Well, could be problems, Fitzy.
Yeah, well, look, Jim, you know, for competitors, they need, in these situations, you don't get many opportunities against great players, and when you do, you've got to play your best tennis. He didn't in the previous game. He had an opening. He didn't put together too many good points after that, and now Hurkacz is believing he can just reverse the whole table here. Yeah, okay, good point there. Boy, he needs it right now.
30-all.
Play well when it matters most is one of the biggest things for me in winning matches at this level.
Really doing well finding the range with his forehand up the line this time on that one.
Game, Team China. Team China lead 3 games to 2, second set.
Well, from some self-inflicted added pressure, Zhang holds for 3-2. Well, we saw a little earlier where the Czech team, who have a day off their United Cup over for 2024, had headed to Rottnest Island, but there are some magnificent beaches around WA. That's Cottesloe Beach, which is on the coast of Perth, about 20 minutes from the CBD, which is further up the Swan River. Then you go up to Scarborough Beach. Cable Beach there in Broome, that's 1,200 kilometres up the coast, and there is so much coastline that you can go visit, and a lot of it is all yours. It is one of the most scenic parts of the world if you want to get out, escape, and go meet with nature. a good group of Polish supporters in to get behind their team here at the United Cup in Perth.
They started amongst the favorites, did Team Poland, on the back of Hurkacz and Iga Świątek being their players. And we know how amazing Świątek is. Hurkacz, not only a terrific singles player, a top 10 singles player, he's also won 4 doubles titles in his career, including 2 Masters 1000s, one with Auger Aliassime and one alongside John Isner. So
wouldn't want to play him and Isner.
They won in Miami Open.
Good luck returning those 2 serves at this in a duo.
Love 15.
This is really nice, wasn't it? Just props. Nice little delicate short slice. Not really a drop shot. That one hit to run away from the court, which is smart.
Oh, wow, boy, it was the right idea to get into the net. Hurkacz didn't see him coming, and he had a very makeable volley. But not able to find the open court.
It's twice on the drop volley, though, that if you watch it here, see where the racket goes. He makes contact, he goes straight down. Even on a drop volley, you must take the racket head to the target. You just have to have soft hands and get the racket just to slide gently under the ball.
30-15.
But the old chop is where you lose control of the ball. And then very quickly, Hurkacz gets himself back in the lead.
40-15.
Couple of aces cleans up the game for Hurkacz to level 3-all.
3 games all, second set.
That's interesting too for, you know, a bit of a technical discussion on the slice backhand, Jim, because we have mentioned that the slice backhand worked well against Hurkacz. Haven't seen it probably enough from Zhang here, but a lot of people say slice and they think you have to go across your body from sort of low to high and impart like a chop spin. But in fact, a slice backhand is the racket head should be below the ball and lift, and that imparts a backspin. It's really a backspin shot. It's not a slice chop to be effective. Now, if you can do it where you lift, you get the ball to hit the court and actually stay lower and with more speed, which is a tougher shot for your opponent to hit. The one that chops, when you come across your body, hits the court, has too much spin on it, bites into the court, sits up. A lot of times then your opponent's able to be offensive off that ball.
Wasn't it wonderful watching the coverage from Brisbane yesterday in between matches to see Ash Barty back watching
Talking
the tennis.
About slices and that lift.
Missed that slice. Boy.
15-all.
She knows how to hit a slice backhand just like you, Todd.
Yeah, she had a two-hander, though.
Yeah, she's slicing and dicing diapers, though, like a champion. Great time in life for her.
30-15.
I think all of us happy to see her back watching a little tennis.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a, maybe the bug starting to bite again. Who knows?
Two moms faced off as well. It was Svitolina taking out Wozniacki in an opening round match earlier this week. And of course, Naomi Osaka is back as a new mother as well. Won her opening round in Brisbane. Great to see.
This is a bit of an issue here, guys. A little ball boy just
hit the
fell
net.
over. Yeah.
Did he like collapse, or did he fall and hit like something?
Yeah, he's having a little bit of an episode, I think.
Okay.
There's going to be a hold up here.
All right, they'll get the doctors out there right away. Plenty of medical staff at these events. They won't take long to get some help. Help is there. Help has arrived. So this will be a little bit of time for the players. Will need to hit the reset button as they get things under control, hopefully rather quickly. But certainly a fright.
Yeah, it's not easy for anybody. I know we can see it's down in front of us. Hubert Hurkacz is looking on. It might be, there's plenty of service staff there with him now. Might be good for him to get away from that pitch. You can see it's a long distance shot there right now. And
yeah, the chair umpire just giving information to team captain Woody and his player. So they'll head back to the team zone and just wait for things to stabilize before play can recommence. So in the match, it's 6-3 for Hurkacz, 3 apiece here in the second set. 30 all on the scoreboard.
Could see everything going okay down there.
Yeah, we think he just fainted. Actually, Craig Boynton has just jumped up out of his pod, and they're all a doctor, I think, rushed past us and is there on the scene. I think everything's okay.
That's good news.
Yeah, I think it's hard to see here, but we think he just fainted.
Is this the ball boy who's in the back there to collect the balls that go over the short fence? They have one on the far side.
I can't tell you, Jim. It happened out of nowhere.
They have a couple on the far side just to help out, so I imagine that's the case. But thankfully, these tournaments have plenty of medical staff handy to take care of any fans, players, officials, anyone who might need some very rapid help.
Well, it is quarterfinals day here at the RAC Arena in Perth. This is the first of the men's matches, just to keep you updated with how all of the groups are playing. This was Poland, who won Group A, taking on China, who were the best runner-up here. So we had 3 groups. The winner of Group A being Poland, the winner of Group C was Australia, and the winner of Group E was Serbia. China were the next best in terms of averages with sets and games won, so they came into the slot to take on the #1 seeds in Poland. And later this evening here in Perth, Australia.
Yeah, some good news here, Todd.
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you there. Yeah, the good news for the little fella. I've got a chair for him. He's conscious and looks good.
That's good news. So, yes, later this evening, Australia will take on Serbia. Alex de Minaur to take on world #1 Novak Djokovic, and Isla Tomljanovic to take on Olga Danilovic. Okay, so all good after a little incident here, and we're ready to get play back underway. So the score, 6-3, Hubert Hurkacz. Taking the opening set is 3-all. Zhang serving at 30-all. So tough to come out serve in the difficult end at 30-all after a break. And this is a good positive point from Hurkacz. Gets his man on the stretch. He's in with a good finishing volley and has a break point. And there is the break. Unfortunately for Zhang, but for Hurkacz, 2 games away from sealing this first point for Team Poland.
Team Poland lead 4 games to 3, second set.
Well, for Hubert Hurkacz, the break actually coming in handy. He was able to get 2 quick points on his opponent and get the break of serve. So you would almost think it's a formality. I guess the one thing that he's got to deal with coming out of this game now, Jim, is he's going down to the southern end, and 20 past 11. It's the most difficult time of the day coming up to serve. So maybe an adjustment in the toss, a little bit of pace off. First serve becomes crucial when you're in that situation. Been a quick match. Just an hour and 15 minutes for a set and a half. He's got new balls too.
15 love.
You see that ball really cutting off the court quickly. They actually have a different sound even when you listen to the bounce here. It's called like a crisp sound.
It's well handled by Zhang. Took that really high bounce early enough and wrestled it cross court, where he makes contact with this about head high, but able to pull it all the way into the service box. 15-all. Another great wide serve though from Hurkacz.
30-15.
Ooh, that ball catching the back of the line. Looks like
40-15.
no call with the from the electronic line calling. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Just a sliver.
Game, Team Poland.
That's how you do it, Todd. No problem with the sun there. 3 wide aces in the deuce court.
5 games to 3, second set.
Yep, just throw the ball up, put it out a little bit more to your right, wrap the racket head around it, use that spin, and when you've got that height, you can create the angle. So a quick game, just 1:24 in duration, and a game away from securing a point for Team Poland.
Love. Love. $30-15.
Using the off-speed pitch, Zhizhen gets that free point and a chance to just ask the question to Hurkacz, can you serve it out? Let's find out soon.
He certainly will. It's a hold of serve for Team China. And Team Poland lead a set and 5-4.
Questions now for the team zone on the other side. Nothing much to say on Team Poland side other than keep it up, but on this side, wondering if you might just be whispering in his ear, hey, maybe take away that wide serve in the deuce court. He went there the last 3 times. There's no guarantee he's going there, but you might just want to hedge your bets and cover that up in the opening point and see what happens. It's going to be so critical for Zhizhen to make the turns and get to work. Time is running out.
The last time these two played, the last 2 times, in fact, the match went to 7-6 in the third. Going to have to make something special happen today, Zhang, if that's going to be the case. As he comes out now with Hubert Hurkacz about to serve for the first point for Poland. Still to come in this match. Next is Iga Świątek, the world #1, to take on Zhizhen Zhang. That should be interesting. They played 4 times. Świątek won all 4, but she's been pushed 3 out of the 4. But here is Hurkacz serving for the match.
Well, goes up the middle with that serve, blasts away after hitting the 3 aces out wide in the game prior. Changes it up with one of his biggest serves of the match, 213K. Hurkacz's first serve percentage is outstanding this set. He has hardly missed any first serves.
And very quickly, it is 3 match points. And there is a very thorough and convincing victory for Hubert Hurkacz. Team Poland take a 1-love lead.
Big win for Team Poland and Hubert Hurkacz. Hurkacz, having lost his last match in this competition to Davidovich Fokina, gets a feel-good because he played some convincing tennis there, and he finished serving at his very best those last 2 service games. Once he got the break of serve, he hardly put a foot wrong.
But it's so hard for Zhang. He lost his opening serve and never really got time to settle into the match, always playing from behind. And that was a very calm, relaxed, comfortable Hubert Hurkacz. He'll be pleased with that result.
Yeah, looks like he's going to come back and sign some autographs after he has a chat with John Fitzgerald, which is upcoming here. But a great start for Team Poland with Iga Świątek on deck. And if they need the mixed doubles to come good, Świątek and Hurkacz certainly more than capable. But that's got to feel really, really nice for Hubert Hurkacz. So let's go on down to Fitzy.
Hubie, well played. You've had some history with Zhang before. It's a couple of close matches. Today seemed a little easier.
No, I mean, definitely, it was always against him. It's really, tough match. And I mean, he can play really amazing shots, and he's such a great competitor. So definitely really happy with that victory today. Yeah,
I think Craig, your coach, inferred then that maybe you're getting better match by match. He doesn't want you to peak too early, though, Hubie, your coach. He wants you to keep getting better as the days go by.
I mean, certainly I didn't pick really early yet, so no, I believe I have more in my game, but really happy with my performance today, and all the credit to Z. I mean, he's a really good player, and hopefully in this year he's gonna have a really great season.
Well, there's a reason Poland's seated #1 here. You've got 2 pretty good players in your team, and I know you're a modest man, but you've got one under the belt now, a win, and you've got a pretty good player coming next, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, Iga is insane. So she definitely gonna fight really hard and play a good match and compete for Poland. So really appreciate you guys coming and supporting. Dziękujemy bardzo za wsparcie.
Well done, Hubie. Look, you've got one more match to go, and then you might be on a plane to Sydney. So good luck, and you'll play mixed doubles if it goes the whole distance.
Yeah, I'll be ready.
I saw you play a good one the other day. Good luck, mate. Well played today.
Well, he's a gentle giant, is Hubert Hurkacz. He's a lovely, I can call him young man because he's younger than me. When you get to have a chat to him and he's signing a few autographs, those balls will be hit into the crowd as a memento of a day out at the quarterfinals here at the RAC Arena and the United Cup for 2024. Take us through the summary, Jim.
Yeah, so bottom line, unforced errors look similar, doesn't it? What we're missing is showing you the winner count, and that's where Hurkacz really excelled. He had 28 winners against his 21 unforced, where it was 16 winners only for Zhizhen against his 22 unforced errors. So -6 in that category is a big difference. Great serving from Hurkacz. He really lifted in the second set. First serve percentage very high, and Zhang's, well, it just faltered a little bit, and it didn't take much, and it was really unlucky for him. The break in the action at 3-all, 30-all seemed to stunt his momentum, and Hurkacz ran away with it from there, Todd.
Well, it means that Team Poland are in the driver's seat with a 1-love lead, and they have the world #1 coming out next. Stay with us. You're watching the United Cup from the RAC Arena in Perth.